Joe, congratulations.
Cheers.
Wonderful performance from you. Just talk through that century from your point of view, that performance with Harry. How good was that to share that innings with him?
Yeah, and before that as well, I thought the way Beth played was exceptional. We didn't get off to the quickest of starts, and it was important that we built something together throughout that period, and at no point did we sort of get stuck. We'd learned the lessons from the last couple of games and managed to find ways to rotate and keep the board moving at a good rate throughout. And then when Brookie came in, obviously just went through the gears and showed exactly what he's capable of doing, and his full array of shots and ability, which was, well, it was just a joy to watch at the other end.
He just told us that he wanted to, in his words, repay the trust of the group through his performances, through his batting, but also his captaincy. What have you made of the way he's handled himself on this tour so far, particularly both at bat, but also as a captain?
I think he's been excellent in every aspect, really. I think he's grown throughout the 3 games. He's learnt all the different. He's taken in all the information throughout and applied it in each game. He didn't panic tonight. You know, they got off to an absolute flyer in that second innings, and he was very calm. He knew what he wanted to do, and so I thought again he managed the game really well. It's easy to do it when you're on top and everything's going in your favour, but when a team throws a few punches at you, be able to stay calm, keep in control of everything and manage it like he did was another example of why I think he's going to be an excellent captain in white ball cricket. And clearly, obviously, played exceptionally well with bat in hand, so I think he's gone a long way in terms of earning that trust back. He certainly has in the dressing room. I hope that's the case externally as well.
I know you've got a pretty good record everywhere, but your record here is particularly exceptional, especially in white ball cricket. I think you're averaging like 76 something now in ODI cricket in Sri Lanka. How much do you love batting here and adapting to these conditions the way you do?
Yeah, I think it suits the way that, suits my game. I've obviously played quite a lot here as well, so I've gained quite a lot of experience, whether that's red or white ball, and found a good method to manage these surfaces. Clearly, there's not a huge amount of bounce, inconsistent turn, and when it becomes more consistent, I've got a good method and understand how I want to score my runs. So I think it's just being able to combine all that together, and then just try and be as relentless with it as possible, and stick to it and understand that, I know that works over a period of time, and ultimately you've still got to play the situation and the position of the game that you find yourself in, but within your game frame, and feel like I managed to do that quite well throughout the 3 games.
We'll go to Hart and then Cameron, yeah.
Hi, Joe. With Harry, he talked a bit just now about the work you guys did yesterday. Could you just talk us through any kind of specifics you guys worked on?
We're just talking about angles, using our sweeps, being able to pull the ball from different lines, maybe slightly unconventional to what you do in maybe England or other parts of the world, that can be really effective here. And when you've got his ability and his skill level, he can put it straight into practice straight away. So it was phenomenal to see him take that from yesterday into today. But that's what you want from any team, really. You want to be sharing ideas, sharing experience, and if there's any way you can add to the guys around you and help them, then that's your role as a senior player within the team. But it gives you a huge amount of satisfaction when you see them then go and implement it and take it straight into the very next day. So I enjoyed watching it at the other end. I'm sure everyone enjoyed watching it in the stand and at home on the TV as well.
He seems a bit unique in just how many times you can sort of hit over extra cover. Is there any sort of specific reason that you can pinpoint as to why he's able to just access that area so regularly?
I think he's incredibly difficult to bowl to because he can hit all around the ground, and not just for 4 but for 6 as well. He's got great hand speed. The way he picks the bat up creates power without having to overexert himself. I think he's also got a really good understanding of his game for someone relatively young, and I think that's probably the most impressive thing is you see a lot of young guys or a lot of players in their mid-20s that have got all the shots, have got a really good game. It's then being able to manage it and put it into situations and scenarios, and I think he does that as well as anyone I've seen.
And you probably get asked this every few months, especially when the T20 World Cup's coming up, but do you still have ambitions to get in that T20 team?
I'm not sure that, I think that ship might have sailed, but I still have ambitions of playing T20 cricket, definitely. I love playing the format, I think it's great. But I look at that squad of players, it's a hell of a team. There's a huge amount of depth within it, in all areas, all departments, and you know, the guys that are involved in it, that from this hopefully can take a huge amount of confidence from these 3 games and understanding of these conditions. And if they find themselves later on in the tournament here in Sri Lanka, they've obviously got a lot of evidence and stuff to work with, and knowledge to take into those games. So that can only be a good thing. And you know, I'm expecting some really exciting and interesting cricket from them. It's going to be good to watch.
And just to clarify, when you playing T20, keep playing T20 cricket, you mean more just franchise-wise?
Or wherever, yeah, whatever opportunities come. You know, I'm not. I'm quite aware of where I probably sit within the international team and that format, and I'll never, you know, I don't think I'll give that up, but I know I'm a long way off it, and that's part and parcel of the game, and you know, those guys fully deserve to be ahead of me. They, as I said, they're an incredible group of players, and you know, I've definitely got the tools and the ability to go on and win this tournament. So, you know, hopefully that is the case, and I can enjoy it from, you know, the other side of the screen, watching on from home.
Just to follow on from Tom, when you talk about that ship might sail, is that conversation between you and Harry at all, or is it just there's so much going on that you feel yourself kind of?
Harry's got an incredible job to do ahead of him. The last thing he needs is some old bloke, you know, picking at his ear. You know, I want to support this group. I want to, you know, watch them go and deliver what could be a really exciting few months, and a great opportunity for them to go and take it. So I'd like to think that I've always been someone that will try and talk through actions and how I play on the field, and if down the line that presents an opportunity, then fine. But you know, I'm not precious about not being in the team. Those guys fully deserve it, and you know, I'll sit back and enjoy watching them play.
And when Harry reached the century, the little celebration towards the dressing room, kind of celebrating together and regaining their trust, was that a gesture you were familiar with?
Well, I think you can work it out, can you, if you've ever watched wrestling? But you know, I think that's his way of doing that. Really, is trying to show that he wants that approval from the group is through humour, and I think that's another area of why I think he's going to be a great leader, is because he has that side to him as well. I thought, as I mentioned earlier, he showed his calmness and his clarity under pressure, but he also showed humour as well in doing that. And you know, hopefully it's received in the right way, because there's definitely no malice behind it or anything other than him just trying to have a bit of a joke with his teammates.
Okay, we've got one question at the back and then finish with the gentleman
Good, congratulations for winning the series in Sri Lanka. Winning the toss on this particular match, was it an advantage for England in the point of view? Number two, you had made a strategies, slow start, and at the end of the overs you were accelerating. We saw it on the last 2 games. Was that the strategy you adapted to take Sri Lanka?
Well, I think the toss has been really important in all 3 games, if I'm being really honest. I think there's good evidence that suggests that in 50-over cricket at this ground, if you get a score of 240, you've got a 50% chance of winning. You get 275, you've got a 75% chance of winning batting first. So, I mean, they're not huge scores in this format, but you know that if you get towards those numbers, you've got a really good opportunity and you're in the game. And the fact that we had that in mind when we set out today was, I guess, a good benchmark for us to work from, and I think it just naturally manifested that way. We knew that after the start that we had, we were going to have to build something and earn the right to, you know, explore later on towards the back end of the innings. And I just thought the way that we managed that middle phase was really important. If we lost quick wickets, it was always going to be difficult for guys to come in and start and rotate. So once the guys got in, it was maximising that and taking those partnerships really deep, which we did really well. Like I said, Beth played really well, and then Brookie was just outstanding, and it just allowed me to get them on strike, and they could do their thing and I could do my thing.
Thank you.
Joe very well played throughout the series. How do you rate the youngster Pawan Ratnayaka's inning under pressure?
I thought he played extremely well. I think he's got a really good game against spin. He can manoeuvre the ball. I guess he doesn't soak up dot balls. He's got a real good knack of rotating the strike, but has got some really good boundary options too. So, was this his fifth game? I think he's got a bright future ahead of him, and I'll be watching out for him because that was really quite special. He just needed one or two of the other guys to stick with him, and it could have been a very interesting finish.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.